What is up, everybody? To Steve here today. So, IGN has made a poll about which was their favorite showcase of E3 so far, and an overwhelming amount, about 55.9%, said Xbox/Bethesda, while 34% says Nintendo, 4% said Ubisoft, and 5.7% said something else. Yeah, so it's been a lot of people really enjoyed the Microsoft conference this year, then second up Nintendo. I definitely think that these two conferences, Xbox and Nintendo, definitely saved E3. They made E3 what it was because the rest of the showcases weren't that great, to be honest. But while the IGN was making their poll about which showcase was their favorite at E3, some Sony guys made their poll too about which was the best at E3. So he said, all BS aside, with all said and done, honest answers only. Who won E3? They have the options of PlayStation, they have the option of Sony, they have the option of Naughty Gods, and they have the option of Insomniac Games. And that is pretty pretty telling that Sony wasn't at E3. But hey, you got a poll to see which one won E3, so that's pretty funny. So back to the original post. So he says, we're gonna read some of these comments. He says, PlayStation Showcase was really good though. It's just a loading screen because they wasn't there. Ratio Showcase. Look at Xbox Go, but Xbox wasn't supposed to have games. It's like a Sony fanboy crying, I guess. I'm not picking sides, but I'm not picking sides, but sad how people act when someone is actually doing good and beating them with good competition. It's kind of like they don't want competition at this point. It's kind of like the Sony guys don't want competition at all. They just want Microsoft just to crumble and just be gone, which is weird because you want competition. Uh, there are more PlayStation fans voting for Nintendo than Nintendo fans themselves. That is funny if that's true. That they're voting for Nintendo because their company wasn't there, so they gotta vote for the next best thing that's not Xbox. This is what happens when you don't attend. Your community is forced to vote for the competition. Xbox and Nintendo had the best shows. Basically, this whole E3 2021, Xbox and Nintendo is pulling E3 forward. Okay, Microsoft won, in my opinion. With all due respect, but you can't give Microsoft a win showing CGI trailers for games in 2023 when most of the Nintendo announcements were mostly for this year. Xbox was close, but Nintendo wins it for me. You know what else was nice? Nintendo showed actual gameplay, not CGI filler like Xbox. I'm pretty sure he has a PlayStation logo in his as an avatar. He has a PlayStation avatar. But okay, I wonder why he chose Nintendo. Nintendo every year, bare minimum award. Well, yeah, they even showed that was close to Forza Horizon 5 or Stalker 2. Nintendo could be winner if they only make more games this year for me. There's only Mario Golf and Zelda ported from Wii, and Switch will collect dust for over half a year. Wow. I'll be honest, I don't see how I pay for a Nintendo that is technically far behind. I love Mario growing up, and the fact they don't really compete is a failure of Nintendo, in my opinion, and as a result of that and the price of the Switch, no point in me watching because I'm not buying. People said Xbox One E3, there was not much competition, they just showed the most games. Best part about the conference was Game Pass, but overall, a lot of stuff in the Xbox conference didn't really wow me like I usually get in past E3s. They were all bad this year, honestly. Easily Xbox because they showed the most games. I'll be playing Nintendo, show one game that I'll be playing on Xbox Fatal Frame, and then I may get Metroid if I can pull myself away from the games on Xbox by then. Oh yeah, with that Fatal Frame game, they made it seem like that game was a Nintendo exclusive, but it's gonna be on all platforms. So I might check out Fatal Frame on Xbox, like this guy said, instead of Nintendo. I was under the impression that was gonna be an exclusive game for Nintendo, but it's gonna be on there. It's gonna be multi-plat. Nobody really tried besides Xbox. PlayStation would have been crazy, but they didn't show up. Square Enix was alright. Besides God of War and Horizon, what is PlayStation working on? Serious question here. For me personally, Xbox by far. I like Nintendo and I own a Switch, but very few games there I need to play for various reasons. Xbox lineup was way more appealing for me personally, and most of the games are coming to Game Pass, so it's even a bonus right there. 37% more Nintendo votes. Are pony fanboys mad Sony didn't have E3? And they don't want to see Xbox win. I mean, Nintendo was okay, but they showed nothing new and often, and other than a mediocre Metroid Prime 2D side scroller, lol. Xbox easily, but of course, Nintendo fans are diehard, so they will praise anything Nintendo shows them. Hell, they even bought cardboard from Nintendo. Oh, the Labo thing. I still remember the Labo. Nintendo wants you to forget about the whole Labo thing, but I remember. I still remember that thing. It was like that was so ridiculous. Like you had to build cardboard to make different like robots and telescopes. It's just weird. Nintendo by far from my taste. Everyone who chose Xbox clearly values CGI trailers over actual gameplay. Nintendo showed gameplay, not CGI, like the Xbox show. Nintendo had Fatal Frame, so it's an easy win. Fatal Frame is gonna be on every platform, so that was the only game that you was excited for. It's gonna be on every platform, so okay. It's got to be Xbox slash Bethesda. Every other showcase besides Xbox and Ubisoft have been lackluster at best. Microsoft brought tons of AAA game updates and announcements and hit out the park, in my opinion. I'm confused why Nintendo is so high. Breath of the Wild 2 and a 2D Metroid game, lost supports in older games. Love Nintendo. I just thought Microsoft Bethesda won by miles. I think Microsoft could cure cancer and there would be still be insecure fanboys saying PlayStation is better. Nintendo was pretty great, but technically the stuff I'm most excited for was already known. Microsoft, the most excited because there was lots of stuff soon, lots of stuff for the future, but so much of it is simply included with my existing Game Pass subscription. Hard to not hype. Okay. Xbox wins for me. Nintendo was nice though. Xbox fans almost definitely voting Xbox Bethesda. Nintendo fans almost definitely vote Nintendo. PlayStation fans almost definitely vote Nintendo. Just so Microsoft don't win. That's kind of sad, actually. Nintendo was pretty damn good, but I enjoyed more titles from Xbox and Bethesda. They didn't have as many groundbreaking revelations in their stream, but it was certainly most enjoyable by all the content on Switch. I enjoyed certain games a lot more, but others were bland. Okay. Dude, Nintendo won by a huge margin, and I hate Nintendo more than Microsoft, but they managed to show everything the fans wanted. Metroid, Zelda, and Advance Wars is my personal favorite. I couldn't be more happier. In my opinion, this year's E3 was crap. There was no games that looked good, no Lego Star Wars, the Skywalker Saga trailer, or even release date. I mean, Mario plus Rabbids game looked cool, but that's on the Switch, and I don't even own one of those, and well, overall, I enjoyed it. Yes, I'm included right there. It's like we got enough comments, but yeah. It is pretty funny that the Sony guys voted for Nintendo just so Microsoft couldn't win this poll. And it's like, but most people thought that Xbox had the best showcase this year, so I agree. I kind of agree with these poll results. Like, I think Xbox was first, Nintendo was second, in my opinion, with the showcases. I rank them. So that concludes the video. Definitely want to see your thoughts down below. Leave a like if you like this video. And as always, thanks for watching, and peace.